Hey, Fiery Stern, welcome to the stream. I'm assuming you're talking about Origin Form Palkia, seeing as that's the new deck this week.
I was like, I can't see what his comment was.
It says, ooh, no, I'm hyped. Let's see how my first archetype does post-rotation.
I don't know. I mean, this is the deck I'm going to be running primarily post rotation.
I suspect I probably will be too, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and have you go first. So we're going to start with Mew's deck profile. Mew, it has not changed from last week. So if you saw the deck profile last week, it is the same for this week. Mew did very well last week. It didn't really need any tweaks. So we've left the list the same. It's going to continue the same until we feel like some tweaks need to be made.
This is going to be the first time I've been piloting the post rotation one because I've been gone pretty much for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
But last week's pilot did a good job.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Alright, so post rotation Mew is going to be very similar to most Mew decks right now, just very slight change. So you're still running the 4 Jennies because that's your draw engine. Man, he is unhappy.
Let me go see if I can.
4 Mew Vs, 3 Mew VMAXs, and 2 Meloetas, so very basic. This is actually the spread in my actual standard Mew right now. One thing that is a little different is you're running 3 bosses instead of a 2-2 split on the boss and Serena. You're still running the 3 Elisa Sparkle because this is a fusion build, so it's not a DTE build. 1 Serena and 1 Roxanne. One thing that we've been talking about is actually maybe looking at seeing how Judge works instead of Roxanne, just in case you need to disrupt their hand prior to them being at 3 or fewer prize cards. Then you're running 4 battle VIPs, so very standard in Mew and a lot of decks, especially like Lost Box. 4 chromatics.
Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear Iro in the background, but my cat is extraordinarily upset about something, and we can't quite figure out what.
4 Ultra Balls. Now Poppy's not going to figure out what's up with him.
He's just very talkative right now.
3 Feather Balls. So one thing that I was already talking about well in advance of us testing post rotation is literally you take out Quick Ball, you throw in Feather Ball, you can still play it. It's the reason why you don't run Nest Ball is because Nest Ball can still be a deck card in your hand if your bench is full. As far as Feather Ball, you can still play. Feather Ball goes and gets you both Mew V and VMAX, so it's still a really good search. And then if people are wondering what you would add in when you take out Rotom Phone, if you're low on the chromatics, you can throw those in, or just run Trekking Shoes.
Yep.
We have 2 Lost Vacuums, so to bump those stadiums. A lot of decks right now are still running 1, but this is a post-rotation build. Then you have 2 Switch Carts, 1 Escape Rope, and then that's it for the items, because since this is going to be post-rotation, Pokemon tools are now their own separate category, so they're no longer going to be item, they're actually going to be a purple box, and it's actually going to say tool. So choice belts, 2 choice belts, 2 Force Seal Stones. With also that in mind, those that weren't here last week that are unfamiliar with it, no, you can no longer Cramomatic away choice belt or Force Seal Stone or any other tool. When is it in January?
So once it's actually going to be February. It's going to be in April.
Okay.
For in-person play, and at the end of March for online play.
Okay.
So the rules change goes in effect then to make sure that item cards and Pokemon tool cards are no longer overlapping.
Yeah. So baseline, you can't Cramomatic away these, and that's what we'll be testing it as, is that you cannot Cramomatic away Choice Belt or Force Seal Stone. Then you have 2 Lost Cities and Tooth Path to the Peaks. Then the energy spread is 4 Fusion Strikes, because this is the Fusion build. And then 3 DTEs.
So fairly straightforward build of Mew, not really anything surprising. Maybe Featherball for those who maybe weren't expecting it and were expecting us to just substitute it in Nest Ball instead, but pretty much a bog standard Mew list. Mew really doesn't lose very much.
No.
And so if you're playing Mew right now and you're going, I don't know if I want to play Mew after rotation, I don't know if it's
Play
gonna
it.
work. Play it, it's easy, it's gonna be fine. Far Eastern says, yes, Palkia, I am not confident losing Shady Dealings as someone who's only played Shady Dealings Palkia and not Palkia Kyurem. Now Palkia Kyurem loses a lot too.
Yeah. Because you're losing Orangaru, you're losing a lot of stuff. Because, like, Irida will no longer go and get, like, for certain decks that were relying on Big Charm, you can't go get Big Charm anymore post-rotation with Irida. Because it's not an item card anymore.
Right.
There's just a lot of stuff that's changing.
It's also rotating, but that's...
Yeah.
So with the Palkia deck, we are going to be using the Kirlia engine today. Kirlia, a fairly effective engine, I think. We'll see how it does against Mew. I'm a little concerned with Mew. The Mew matchup may not be the best, unfortunately. But I do think this deck's still very, very good with the Kirlia engine. So if you're not familiar, we're using the 70 HP Ralts in this deck. Just need the extra HP. If we had Psychic Energy in the deck, we'd probably be running the 60 HP Ralts with the Amnesia effect, but unfortunately, we are not running Psychic Energy in here, so we're just running the 70 HP Ralts. We are running 4 Kirlia. This is with the Refinement ability. This is the one straight out of Silver Tempest, so if you got your Kirlias in your pre-release packs, now is the time to pull them out and get them ready to be used. We are using a copy of Gallade from Astral Radiance. So Astral Radiance Gallade has a Buddy Catch ability. Buddy Catch allows you to search your deck for a supporter card and put it in your hand. So that could be your boss's orders, that could be a research or a Melanie, basically whatever supporter card you find yourself in need of, Gallade can find it for you. Since Gallade evolves from Kirlia, it's nice and convenient to have it in the deck so that one of your Kirlias can be just an instant search for a supporter. In addition to that, we are running 3 copies of Origin Form Palkia V and 3 copies of Origin Form Palkia VSTAR. So these are our main attackers. We want them out and about and doing the player's bidding. And they're very good at doing that, so that's why they're here. We are going to be playing 1 copy of Luminion V, an additional means of getting a supporter out. If we don't have Gallade out, maybe we need a boss very critically and don't have a Kirlia to evolve or have already lost our Gallade. Luminion will do the job. And 1 copy of Radiant Greninja. Radiant Greninja, a good option for sniping some squishy guys, or just for drawing some cards with its Concealed Cards ability. Discard an energy card and draw 2. We have 3 copies of Melanie. Melanie being a support card from Chilling Reign. So you're going to need to attach a water energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon V. So we're running 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Talk about Gusting. Gusting's super important, obviously. Want to make sure we're taking knockouts on what we want to take knockouts on. We are only running 2 copies of Irida. I don't know how I feel about Irida after rotation. It's definitely weakened because of the lack of being able to search out Pokemon tools, but it's also weakened because you're no longer running the Inteleon engine, which means you have far fewer targets for it. Not a bad card. Still, I think it's still fairly decent, but I don't know if it necessarily warrants 4 copies anymore. And then we are also running 2 copies of Judge and 2 copies of Research for additional draw. Judge gives a little bit of disruption, and since we're running Kirlia, we're able to kind of survive these disruptive hands fairly easily. So if we disrupt our opponent down to 4, we can build right back up with Kirlia. And we are also running 2 copies of Serena. So Serena additional draw because Serena is good draw, and of course she's also a Gusting card against Pokemon V. So that's going to be in this matchup. Genesect V, Mew VMAX, etc. So Serena, very, very good card and definitely worth playing in this deck. Finally, we have the items. So 4 copies of Battle VIP Pass. You want to get your Ralts and your Palkia out fairly quickly so that you can be evolving them as quickly as possible. Battle VIP Pass is definitely a way to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of decks I find that I've tested so far at least kind of clunk up pretty badly with Battle VIP Pass. And this is an exception. So Curlia, because of its refinement ability, can discard these later on in the game, which means they don't hurt you very much. You're not a B barrel engine, so you're not concerned with your hand clumping up anyway, because you can just draw. And then you have, of course, search or shuffle draw with Judge. This is probably a weird inclusion, but this is something we're running with right now. We're currently running 4 copies of Energy Search. Unfortunately, Capacious Bucket is gone with rotation. And energy is really important to get out early on in this deck. So 4 copies of Energy Search are going to be our substitute for the time being, unless we can find something better. We just want to make sure we have access to energies as quickly as possible to use with Greninja, to use with Melanie, to use with Palkia, just to get that out and going. We've actually also increased the energy count in this deck by 1 to try to further our odds of making sure we get those water energy out. For our search cards, we are running 4 copies of Ultra Ball. This is going to be a very, very bog standard card. After rotation, decks that would have run something else are now basically forced to run Ultra Ball. We are running 2 copies of Level Ball, 2 copies of Nest Ball. So we want to have a little bit of extra search in terms of basics. So we obviously have the Battle VIP Pass, but we do still want to have a little bit of extra search. And that's going to be that Nest Ball. That Nest Ball still allows us to get, these guys or these guys after turn 1. So if we miss a Battle VIP Pass, or if we really need a Greninja later on, or a Palkia later on, we have access. The very important thing to remember about Nest Ball, though, is because the Pokemon is going directly to your bench, abilities like Luminions do not activate when you search for them off of a Nest Ball. It is not like Quick Ball, because with Quick Ball, you're searching your deck and putting it into your hand, and then the on-play ability for Luminion says when you play this card from your hand. So with Quick Ball, you can play it down and you get the effect. With Nest Ball, when you're playing it down, it goes straight to your bench. You don't get the effect. So that is something to very much be aware of when you're playing after rotation.
Also note, you cannot also play Nest Ball if your bench is full.
Yeah, you can't thin your hand as easily.
That is why Nest Ball is not in here at the moment.
So Switch, 2 copies of Switch, 1 copy of Energy Retrieval. Energy Retrieval kind of serving as a sort of substitute for Training Court being gone. Training Court is rotating, unfortunately. Very good card, but at some point during the game, we're most likely going to need some way to get a little bit of energy back, so we do have that Energy Retrieval. Also running 1 copy of Choice Belt, just to make sure we can hit some numbers against specific decks, namely Mew. Funny how that happens in tonight's matchup. We also are running 1 copy of Path of Peak and 1 copy of Temple of Sinnoh. So if we can make them stick, that'd be great, although I don't think your build of Mew is going to let that happen.
I've literally played against so many matchups of those. I've had my Pat. I'm a Mew player, so
yeah, that's why you're piloting it.
I have had my own path on the field for at least probably 10 turns, and they just cannot get out of it, and it does not affect me at a certain point.
And then finally, to wrap up the list, we are running 8 copies of Water Energy. A lot of decks right now running only just the 7, but we do want that extra shot at drawing into the energy since we don't have Capacious Bucket. So this is the list rather for Origin Form Palkia VSTAR that we're running tonight. We of course might make changes, and Palkia will be again next week. It'll be tested again next week against its new opponent, which actually, let me check to see what its opponent is supposed to be next week. I don't actually remember off the top of my head.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna go over one thing with Temple of Sinnoh with this matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because I also came up against Temple of Sinnoh at the Arlington Regional. Yes, Temple of Sinnoh makes Fusion Strike, DT all down to 1 colorless. However, it does not affect the name of the card. So, with Melodious Echo is still hitting with Mew VMAX for that damage output because it's Fusion Strike energy. It's not going off the effect of Fusion Strike energy. So That's also another thing to keep in mind with Temple of Sinnoh. Yes, it does shut off the abilities of DTE down to one colorless. It makes Fusion Strike no longer a rainbow for Fusion Strike Pokemon. It makes it into a colorless. However, you can still utilize it as a attacking energy with Mew VMAX.
We have some comments. Let's see here. Energy search is not weird. It's actually busted. Variation says, I play a best of one format and a best of one format location. That's pretty typical. And when I took a 4 VIP list to a recent 130 person tournament, I didn't hit VIP in any of my 7 rounds. That's extraordinarily bad luck. that's very, very bad luck because that's really unlikely, unfortunately. Gustavo says, "Hey people, do you think Baby Lucario will be good post rotation? It might be. Lucario from Brilliant Stars.
Okay.
It might be.
Yeah.
I have it in the look at bin right now. It's not. I don't have a list for it at the moment. I do have it in the look at bin. I actually did the proxy this morning for the Riolu from Scarlet and Violet base set in preparation for that card. So that card and potentially Lucario X also. So we'll see how that goes. I do think it might be decent. Can't wait to play the upcoming Greavard, and if it has the same effect, Houndstone. Yes, actually, that's why I did the proxy for Greavard, is because I think Houndstone might have a similar effect, and if it does, it could be really good. It'd be pretty fun. Let's see here. Tandem, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think Lucario still could be decent. It being a single prizer is pretty decent too. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle up and get ready for game 1.
It's very Violet already.
Yeah, I want to Scarlet Red base set. For those of you who are just joining us, we looked at prior to the stream. We looked at the Scarlet and Violet cards out of the Palkia collections.
I was like, do you want me to grab them?
Yeah, if you would. Just real quick. It's a very good sign to me that the cards look so nice. These are the promos out of that box, and the cards. They're hollow versions of cards from Scarlet Violet base set in some cases. They just look really good. Unfortunately, pictures and video even aren't going to do them much.
You do it. You're at a better
justice.
angle than I am.
Let me get that image up here real quick. So I'm just going to show a couple of them real fast. So you can see, or not, lighting.
Like, do you
lighting,
want the overhead?
Here, overhead light on real quick. Lighting change. Okay. So you can see the hollow on here, and it's a really nice hollow. But the coolest thing, honestly, is that the silver border just looks insanely good, and because it's a hollow border on these promos, and on all of them,
Yeah,
like it's just amazing. Like this video, obviously my video quality is not the best. My camera kind of sucks, but like it's such an amazing. It just looks so good. It looks so much better than the yellow borders. Like these are English cards. These are actual English cards. They have that hollow effect. I don't know. I really like the silver borders, and especially the hollow borders for coming in Scarlet Violet base set.
For those that are wondering how I got these early, the Paldea collections dropped today.
Yes, they did. Yeah, it's a simple foil effect, but it's such a beautiful foil effect.
Yeah, you know what else was also a simple foil effect that we like?
Cosmos. Yeah, Cosmos would be better, but we can't have everything.
Saying, go back to the old foiling.
Water Pokemon Master does not understand that there's a difference between Cosmos and Galaxy holofoils. And in all the articles lately, he's been calling the Cosmos holofoil Galaxy. I'm like, no, stop. And he hasn't fixed it. He won't fix it. What's up? Yeah, that's Iroh?
Yeah,
Oh, he's high on something.
she's over there.
It's not. That's normally where she goes crazy. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Scarlet Violet base. If I can, I'm gonna order a full case of it because it's just exciting. I love his face too. So you want to do the?
after he
You want to go ahead and do the coin flip real quick?
Sure.
Lighting change. Iroh is my cat, and he is just in the zoomies mode right now. Tails.
It is heads. I will go first.
Okay. I say you're gonna need it open anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I was just trying to think if I actually do want to go first. No, I'll go second.
All right. All right. Draw for turn. That's
Yeah.
he is such a weird cat. You know that?
He's your cat.
Yeah. When Iroh comes off his high, we will tell him hi for you.
Yeah, he's been very weird for the past 40 minutes.
About that, yeah. Best you.
Feather Ball, Battle VIP. Feather. Battle.
That's a pretty decent start for me. It might be better if you didn't start the Jenny.
Battle. Forest. Fusion. Yeah, let me shuffle first.
Should bring out my VSTAR marker and the Rowlet Army. Rowlet Army assemble.
Power tablets. Fusion Strike System for 4. Battle VIP.
Damn.
For Mew.
You could send a miss a card, you know.
Lisa Sparkle.
Targets.
Malouetta and Mew. Okay.
Tandem says, I might pick up a bunch of hollow basic energies from the play prize packs. Thoughts? I think I like the Crown Zenith energies better. That's what I think.
Star out me.
Okay. I have a very strong suspicion of exactly what card that is, and screw you.
Is this your card?
Yeah.
District system for 3. Just go for some good measure. And Melodious Echo for knockout.
All right, so that hurts. Oh, and now I hit the Battle VIP pass. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, no choice. We're going to refinement for 2. Bump your stupid stadium. And then we're going to Serena, discarding this, to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't want this at all. That's you. So, as is typical with Ryan playing a deck, it goes off.
Ultra Ball. Battle.
This is an extremely explosive game for Mew.
Ultra Ball, Battle, and honestly, double.
That moment when you have everything you want and don't care about your double turbos. So at this point, Palkia is very much on the bottom foot here. The back foot. All right, let's go to game 2. This game. Dude. All right. So Mew doing Mew things. Oh, hello.
Hello there. Like, there's a certain point where like you have a setup that, yeah, you don't care about the DT.
Like those.
Well, because the other cards I had in my hand when I pitched that was Boss, Ultra, Velocity, and Cramo. So I was like, yeah, I can get rid of the DT because like it attached Fusion Strike energy that turn. That way I'm hitting for like the full 280. Because you're not gonna one shot the VMAX. I mean, you probably could.
I just realized I shouldn't have scooped because you didn't have knockout.
No, I did. I had knockout.
Did you have something to bump Temple of Sinnoh?
Yeah, I had Lost City.
Did you bump it?
I was going to.
Okay.
I mean, regardless, the Melodious Echo knocks it out because
Cool.
it's based on the name,
But you still have to have the second MD for the attack cost.
not for Cross Fusion Strike. For
You had to
Mew.
switch it though.
Yeah. But I mean, I also had Lost City in hand.
Yeah. I wanted a second Palkia down, but I didn't get the chance. I missed that As we were talking about earlier, I missed the Battle VIP pass, unfortunately, until turn 2.
Yeah. That's how Marty is like he's all like whenever I usually face him, he's always a turn too late. He's always a turn behind of like what he needs. Because like when I keep knocking out his Lugia Vs, next top card is a Lugia VSTAR.
I'll go first again. Hopefully this isn't a quick best of 3. Must be nice not to prize 2 of the V-Stars. You know what? I have a feeling this game is not going to go my way. Oh, we didn't even start the Genesect this time.
No.
Turn. Sealed cards for 2. 2.
It's like I don't even think I need the Battle VIP.
It's actually might use that a little too greedily. I'm gonna use an Ultra Ball and the Level Ball.
See, in this situation, the escape rope will not force up what I want. If I play the escape rope, you just promote Ralts.
Yeah, Thornton's not a terrible idea actually, especially with delayed.
Thornton and Reggie's. Well,
It's a little gimmicky.
it's a little gimmicky, but if you have 2 that are knocked out and aren't lost zoned, and you have like another one of one that's already there on the bench, just play that and then just Gordon. Or Seal Stone. Feather Ball.
And it's 1 Dagger Ninja. I think we can pretty well assess that Mew is not just fine after rotation, but is very good after rotation with these tests so far.
System for 3.
Obviously, Mew is going to have to be tested against some of the newer decks too when we get to those, but speaking of things regarding new decks, so next week on Thursday night or Friday morning, depending on your time zone, we will be seeing the full reveal of Scarlet and Violet X from Japan. We will, by extension, basically know the entirety of our Scarlet and Violet base set.
Triple.
So keep an eye out for a little set review coming soon for Scarlet and Violet base. I do expect there to be quite a few interesting cards in Scarlet Violet base set. I also expect there to be some reprints of staple cards like Switch. But either way, it should be very, very good.
Sparkle, Meloetta, Mew.
And no, I didn't get Battle VIP Pass this game either. How is it than all the other tests we've done for this? I've been fine on the Battle VIP Pass, and now that I'm trying to play it on stream, it doesn't want to show up.
Melodious Echo for knockout.
Yeah. Draft turn. Evolve. Evolve. Refinement. Evolve. Research. Catch. Nestfall. Results. I don't know if the sound cut out or if we're just being quiet. Super hyper focused. Just getting whacked by the Meloetta. Turns out Meloetta is still pretty good when you're playing Vs.
Waka 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 waka.
I do wonder how it would be though if I were playing something like Gardevoir, because you wouldn't be hitting into Vs, you'd be hitting into babies. You wouldn't really be taking two prize cards. Meloetta wouldn't be nearly as good. It still gets
It's still
whacked,
good, but
oh yeah, it's still good, but I don't think it's as good. Dang. Haven't done this yet, right? Or have I?
you did that one.
So I need to put a marker.
Then you evolved, you placed
And then
that.
I'm going to manually attach for turn. And then we're going to start portal. Everybody finally gets to see Taiga. Taiga Isaka. And we're gonna just subspace spell. Tim says, my body is telling me to try Gudra. Gudra's probably fine after rotation. Neither Art Gudra nor Lost Gudra really lose anything. It loses some stuff, but nothing significant.
We are going to Serena away, Lost City, and a
Release a Sparkle.
yeah. Yeah. Genesis. City. Star Alchemy.
Did anyone else experience the same audio cut that Tandem did?
Ball, Battle VIP, Fusion Strike. VMAX.
I do think Palkia is a fairly decent deck, even after rotation, but it may be forced to run Drapion to help it deal with Mew.
My Mew still don't run a Drapion because for the mirror match. Until Mew goes away, like it's something that it'll have to run. Fusion Strike system for 3. Choice belts. Power tablet. Fusion Strike system for 2. Power tablets. 6. And Cross Fusion Strike, Technoblast for knockout.
That's 210, right? Base. That's 2190 plus 60.
So
Oh, and we have this way too.
10,
190
9,
plus 90.
10, 11, 12, 280. Yeah, because the choice belt brings it up to 220. Because, yeah. Because
So, yeah.
210 base minus
Exactly.
20
Just
plus.
double checking.
Yeah.
I
I was like, now you got me questioning, like, did I have the math?
Drop a turn. Energy search. Water energy didn't touch that for turn.
Oh, lost some, by the way.
Oh yeah, let's see. So everything attached to or no?
No, just the Pokemon. Whatever Pokemon yours or your opponent's is knocked out. That Pokemon, put that Pokemon in the last zone instead of discard all attached.
So it's been a minute since I've had to play with or against Lost City. Kind of
Really?
weird.
I keep playing against them or playing them. I primarily play them against Reggie's and Drake, but Luminion.
Luminion. I should say luminous sign.
What is he saying?
I signed with audio cutting out.
Oh. I was like, ever since I got back, there's 2 things I did not miss when I was in Colorado. Humidity
Yeah,
and allergies.
both of which are pretty bad here.
Yeah. Feel like there's a Jenny about to get knocked. Or are you going for the straight card draw?
I actually am debating that right now. I'm trying to decide which is actually the better choice. I can take 2 prize cards, which is
Or
good.
you can take 2 turns trying to knock out this.
Right. Like, I think I should probably just hit into the Mew. Serena for 4. Subspace swell for 260.
Double turbo. Boss.
The Curlia, the Roth,
The
the
minion.
minion.
Constitution taking a blast knockout.
I lost this play. Draw for turn. Refinement for 2. Superior City. Yes, thank you. Refinement for 2. Evolve. Buddy catch. Problem I have is that you can get any knockout into win, right? Which sucks for me. Which ball? Starting path fatigue and judge. Origin Forme Palkia VSTAR. Energy search. Turn. Serena. Knockout. Got it. Yeah. All right, that's the end of that series. Best of 3. Both games go to Mew. Palkia put up much better fight game 2, but that first game was very much a run over, which is ironically exactly what happened with Giratina.
Really?
Giratina got ran over game 1 and then sort of fought game 2.
So it's kind of a repeat of last week, just
with a
different deck.
So I think the moral of the story here is Mew is fine.
Mew is fine. Mew really does not lose anything, because there's already plenty of lists out there that weren't running Rotom phones anymore. And okay, you lose Quick Ball, like yeah, you're losing a discard engine, but okay, it's not the end of the world for Mew. Mew's still consistent.
Mew is very consistent, and that really helps it in a rotation format too, because especially right after rotation, a lot of decks are going to be going, okay.
Would you say Mew is probably one of the decks in quite a while that has like full the core of the entire deck, like the entire premises of the deck, has survived rotation.
I think the last time we had that was Pikarom, which is ironic considering how I've compared Mew to Pikarom in the past too. But as I was saying, though, Mew is such that because Mew is so consistent, and right after rotation, a lot of decks are going to be struggling to find their consistent engines and their tech cards and their one ofs and all their things. Mew is just going to be a very good safe pick after rotation until people start figuring things out. So at least for the first week or two after rotation, I think Mew is 100% a good pick. And then after the first few weeks, when people started solidifying their lists and making sure, everything that's come out of the woodwork has started to be countered, then maybe you can start moving away from Mew. But I think Mew is
Lugia's gonna get
100%
hard.
It will, but I do think there's going to be some sort of rainbow energy in Scarlet
Well,
base.
because you guys got to look at it. We're unless there's a rainbow energy, like you lose all rainbow effects. Then on top of it, you lose quick ball. You lose Evo Incense.
That's the big one.
And so you're literally gonna be having to play Professor Burnett, and you're also gonna be having to run the aroma, capturing aroma or whatever it is.
Well, capturing arm has already started
Like-
to peek into Lugia. So
I mean,
don't
like
think that's really that weird.
if you're still wanting to run a version of Lugia, literally unless we get a rainbow energy in Scarlet and Violet base, like it's gonna get hit so hard. Like, and that's why I'm saying like this. I've been telling people like it's not me because I love Mew. Like, I personally believe you will see an increase in Mew numbers post rotation.
Well, I think the same thing, exactly the same thing happened with ADP to Z when we rotated, right? Everybody's like, oh, ADP. Yep, ADP's still good, so keep playing ADP.
Yeah. Yeah, and then ADP's on. Or not Zon,
ADP's
Zon was Zaichan.
Yeah, ADP's Zacian was the deck we played after rotation.
Yeah.
And it still stayed very good. I don't think it ever really lost much of anything. Not until ADP itself rotated.
Yeah. Which, I mean, a lot of stuff lost stuff when tag teams rotated, because like your fire decks for Reshizard, you lost Reshizard, you lost Welder.
Yeah, but I mean, you lose the main card of the deck, so the deck itself is gone. I mean, that's what it took to get rid of Pikarom, really.
Yeah, basically, Pikarom didn't go anywhere until it itself rotated.
Yeah, which I mean, everybody's like, yeah, I mean, it saw a decrease in play, yeah, sure, but it was still pretty dominant.
Yeah,
even though it saw a decrease in play. But yeah, that's going to be today's stream, guys. Thank you for watching. A little bit of a short one, but I think, I do think that it was pretty convincing on Mew's part. I do think the Palkia list is fine. I'm not sure how I feel about the energy counts.
What's the count?
Right now it's 8 energy and 4 energy search. Because that last game I kind of had my hand clutter up with energy searches and water energy, but that may have just been a fluke. In all the other games I've had with it, that didn't really happen. But that's still weird. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you next week.